U.S. Senator Tim Scott, they played with him and said, hey, you're a vice presidential hopeful. I think he still believes that. Well, he refused to answer a simple question about if he would do his job as a senator and certify the presidential election. Also, the governor who likes to kill dogs doubled down and said that if she was in the White House, she would kill Biden's dog too. It's a hell of a thing. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Here it is.
You, of course, did vote to certify the 2020 election results, and you've said, quote, it was not stolen. Why would you join a ticket with someone who believes the exact opposite on this critical point?
Well, I think we have to listen to what President Trump said and not what the reporters said that he actually said. Here's one of the things that he's been very clear, and even talking about the situation in Wisconsin, what he said was he expects there to be an honest election. He expects the results to be clear and for him to be successful. I expect him to be successful as well. There's no doubt that when you look at the polls across our country, the one thing that is crystal clear, that the American people now having a contrast between 4 years of Joe Biden versus 4 years of Donald Trump, they're really excited to get back to the Trump years. And so I expect the election to be fair, and I expect Donald Trump to be our next president.
In terms of what he said, he specifically said, if it's not fair, as you're saying, you have to fight for the right of the country. And just this week, he said that he won Wisconsin falsely, Senator. So again, to the point, you voted to certify the election results of 2020. It's the exact opposite of what you said and did after 2020. Why would you want to be on a ticket with someone where there's such a fundamental difference?
Come on, little Timmy. These are simple questions, little Timmy. Here's the thing, little Timmy. If you're not able to answer questions from Meet the Press about an actual constitutionally mandated process per your job, why would I believe you can hold your own in a room full of oil tycoons selling out the American public, or perhaps in a room full of billionaires who are telling you to craft policies because they have an agenda contrary to the common person? We have no expectation that you have the ability to stand up because you have no backbone. But here's how you answer that question. Here it is.
There is clear facts here. President Trump himself said he expects this election to be fair, he expects it to be honest, and he expects to win. That's what the presidential candidate should expect, and I expect the exact same thing. And frankly, the American people agree with him. This is an issue that is not an issue, so I'm not going to make it an issue.
Well, Senator, will you commit to accepting the election results of 2024? Bottom line.
Well, at the end of the day, the 47th president of the United States will be President Donald Trump, and I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Wait, Senator, yes or no? Yes or no? Will you accept the election results of 2024 no matter who wins?
That is my statement.
Him scared. Now, sir, if you're not able to answer questions from Ms. Welker, who's a remarkable human being, however, she's simply asking simple questions that you can answer. You refuse because you are afraid of Donald Trump. Now, here's when I question people like Senator Tim Scott and others who proclaim to believe in a God that's almighty. And then when they are posed with a question that would put them at odds by telling the truth, that would put them at odds with a man named Donald Trump, it seems to me they have either equivocated Trump and God as the same person, or perhaps they believe Trump is even more powerful than the God they proclaim in their Christian evangelical circles. Because we all know the truth is this: you are constitutionally mandated to certify the elections as a US senator. You took an oath to do so, to uphold the US Constitution. Senator Scott, if you simply would have said, I will do my job and duty as a US senator, if you would have simply said that, that would have been suffice. But you're giving it away, sir, that people like you and others are willing to break the law. You are willing to go the other way on this, contrary to the facts and to the American public. Let's be very clear about the American people. You see, Donald Trump has never won the popular vote. So regardless of the Electoral College victory that he did win in that first presidential contest where he claimed victory, remember, he has never won the hearts and the minds of the majority of the American voter in this country. And I don't believe he ever will. Now, let's shift gears. Governor, wow. So face the nation, okay? Let's put up this picture full mast because the picture says, damn near says it all. That's a straight killer right there, okay? She wrote a book, talked about how she killed her own dog. It was actually a puppy. And because of this, Newt Gingrich and all of the neocons and even some of the Trumpites are saying there is no way that she can be a vice presidential contender now, given her affinity for killing dogs. Here's what she said to it.
But on this point, though, because you have been rumored to be a potential vice presidential candidate, as you know, and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich said killing the dog and then writing about it ended any possibility of her being picked as VP. You talk multiple times about it. In fact, at the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough? Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt before you make a decision on a dog and what to do with it?
Well, he's not living at the White House
That's a question that the president should be held accountable to.
You're saying he should be shot?
That's what the president should be accountable to, is what is the number? And I would say about Republicans criticizing me, these are the same Republicans that criticized me during COVID. They've criticized me when I've made other decisions in South Dakota to protect my state. And my state today is extremely happy and thriving. We're doing well. We've got thousands of people moving to our state because they love the opportunities that are here and the businesses that have come, and how we've gotten to be a state that has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. Everybody has an opportunity for higher wages.
Wow. Her response is, I killed Biden's dog too. Put up the picture full mass again. Madam Governor, the only way you're going to get out of this with Republicans is if you shoot an unarmed black person. I hate to say it, but she'll be celebrated for it and not chastised. All right, Mr. Mayor, hell of a thing, right? So we have a narrative in the GOP where a governor talks about killing a dog many years ago. It has made her a no-go on the vice presidential ticket, but we know good and damn well if she would have shot an unarmed black man, she would probably be polling alongside Donald Trump right now. And then Senator Tim Scott, who has a constitutionally mandated position to certify elections, presidential elections, is unwilling to even answer the question. This is democracy crumbling. What say you?
It's problematic that we're in a state right now where in our country, someone is seriously being considered as vice president and they can't even say they're willing to accept. They're not even gonna do the base, what Mike Pence did. They're not willing to say that they're willing to accept the outcome of elections. The answer is yes. I don't care what Tim Scott is saying. The fact that you are afraid of Donald Scott and his friends, or I'm saying Donald Trump, sorry, right, and their friends is problematic. I am afraid that Tim Scott is no longer capable of representing South Carolina. This is one of the blackest states in the union. And for him to be this scared to tell the truth about elections, what does that mean for anything serious as it pertains to policy and our people? And Noem's been a joke since Noem been around.
Right, the picture says it all. Okay, we'll give you updates as they come.